You ever notice how the internet can turn the smallest spark into a wildfire? One minute you're scrolling through your feed, and the next, everyone's convinced that Fanum just got kicked out of AMP. It doesn't matter if there's proof or not. Suddenly, it's the only thing anyone can talk about. Twitter threads are unraveling, TikTok is flooded with reactions, and YouTube is churning out video after video, each one claiming to have the inside scoop. But how does something like this even happen? Why do we get so caught up in these stories? And what does it say about the way we experience the internet today? Let's dig in. It always starts with a tweet, right? Fanum, the king of New York, the man who can turn a simple meal into a viral meme, drops a few cryptic lines on Twitter. Suddenly, everyone's a detective. Did he get kicked? Did he leave? Who's to blame? The rumor mill is spinning so fast, it's about to take off. Screenshots fly, old clips resurface, and every interaction between Fanum and the rest of AMP is re-examined like it's the Zapruder film. YouTubers rush to upload their Fanum kicked from AMP videos, and the comment sections explode. Fandoms are like families, big, loud, and sometimes a little too invested. The moment the rumor drops, the internet splits. On one side, you've got the Free Fanum crowd ready to storm the AMP house with pitchforks and memes. On the other, the AMP Forever squad, convinced the group is better off. And in the middle, a whole lot of chaos. It's tribalism at its finest. People you've never met, fighting tooth and nail over a situation they know nothing about. But that's the power of online communities. When you feel like you're part of something, you defend it. Logic be damned. Let's be real. Drama is content. The algorithm loves it. The more outrageous the rumor, the more clicks, comments, and shares it gets. Creators jump on the trend, each adding their own spin. And before you know it, the story has a life of its own. But for the people at the center, like Fanum, it's not just content. It's their life. They're forced to respond, to clarify, to defend themselves against a tidal wave of speculation. And sometimes, the truth doesn't even matter. The narrative is already set. Behind every rumor is a real person. For Fanum, being the subject of a fake controversy means dealing with hate, stress, and the pressure to keep performing. The internet expects creators to be always on, always entertaining, always perfect. But nobody can live up to that. The mental health impact is real. Anxiety, burnout, even depression. And all because of a rumor that started with a tweet. Here's the thing. Once a rumor takes off, it's almost impossible to stop. Even after the truth comes out, some people will always believe the original story. It's the nature of the internet. Fast, chaotic, and sometimes just plain wrong. A single tweet can reach millions in minutes. Corrections? They're lucky to get a fraction of that attention. The result? A constant state of confusion, where nobody's really sure what's real. Sometimes, the only way to deal with the madness is to make fun of it. Fanum himself might joke about causing earthquakes or changing the social fabric of America just by leaving AMP. It's satire, but it's also a way to take back control of the narrative. By exaggerating the situation, creators remind us not to take everything so seriously. At the end of the day, it's all just entertainment. But let's not pretend it doesn't matter. Rumors can have real consequences, lost sponsorships, broken friendships, and a whole lot of stress. For fans, the endless cycle of drama can lead to burnout and cynicism. And for the industry, it can stifle creativity and collaboration. But it can also be a chance to grow. Creators who survive the storm come out stronger. Fans who learn to question what they see become smarter, more discerning, and sometimes the whole thing brings people closer together. So what can we do? For creators, it's about being honest and open with your audience. For fans, it's about thinking before you share, questioning before you believe. And for platforms, maybe it's time to start rewarding truth over drama. We all have a part to play in making the internet a better place. It starts with a little skepticism, a little empathy, and a lot less jumping to conclusions. So, did Fanum really get kicked out of AMP? Probably not. But the fact that we're all talking about it says a lot about the world we live in. Rumors are powerful, but so is the truth. Let's try to remember that next time the internet loses its mind. But let's rewind a bit. Why is it that a single tweet from Fanum can send the internet into a frenzy? It's not just about the words themselves, it's about the context, the timing, and the personalities involved. Fanum isn't just any creator. He's a central figure in AMP, a group that's built its brand on chemistry, authenticity, and the feeling that you're watching a real group of friends. When something threatens that dynamic, fans feel it on a personal level. And it's not just fans. Other creators, commentators, and even brands get involved. Suddenly, everyone has an opinion. Some people are genuinely concerned, others are just looking for clout, and a few are there to stir the pot. The internet rewards hot takes and controversy, so the loudest voices often drown out the most reasonable ones. Meanwhile, Fanum is left to navigate the storm. Maybe he's laughing it off, maybe he's frustrated, or maybe he's just tired. It's easy to forget that behind the memes and the drama, there's a real person dealing with real emotions. The pressure to respond can be overwhelming. Do you ignore it and hope it goes away? Do you make a statement and risk adding fuel to the fire? There's no easy answer. And what about the rest of AMP? They're caught in the crossfire too. Every move they make is scrutinized. If they post a video without Fanum, people notice. If they mention him, people analyze every word. The group dynamic is under a microscope, and even the most innocent interactions can be twisted into evidence for or against the rumor. This isn't unique to AMP or Fanum. It's a pattern that plays out again and again in online communities. A rumor starts, it spreads, and suddenly, everyone is invested. Sometimes, the story is debunked quickly. Other times, it lingers, casting a shadow over everyone involved. The internet never forgets, and even after the truth comes out, the rumor can stick around like an unwanted guest. So why do we fall for it? Part of it is human nature. We're wired to look for patterns, to connect the dots, even when there's nothing there. We want to be in the know, to have the inside scoop. And in a world where information moves at the speed of light, it's easy to get swept up in the excitement. But there's another side to it, too. The internet is a place where anyone can have a voice. That's a good thing, but it also means that misinformation can spread just as easily as the truth. It's up to us, as users, to be critical thinkers, to ask questions, to look for evidence, and to remember that not everything we see online is real. Let's not forget the role of satire and humor in all of this. Sometimes, the best way to deal with a ridiculous rumor is to make it even more ridiculous. Fanum and his friends might lean into the joke, creating skits or memes that poke fun at the situation. It's a way to take back control, to remind everyone that, at the end of the day, it's all just entertainment. But even satire has its limits. When the jokes stop being funny and start being hurtful, it's time to take a step back. The line between playful banter and real harm can be thin, and it's important to remember that words have consequences. So where do we go from here? The answer isn't simple, but it starts with empathy. Before you hit retweet or leave a comment, think about the person on the other side of the screen. Ask yourself if you'd say the same thing to their face. Remember that creators are people too, and that everyone makes mistakes. For creators like Fanum, the best defense is authenticity. Be honest with your audience. Address rumors head-on when necessary. and don't be afraid to set boundaries. It's okay to take a break, to log off, and to prioritize your mental health. For fans, the challenge is to be supportive without being overbearing. Celebrate your favorite creators, but don't put them on a pedestal. Understand that they're human and that sometimes things happen behind the scenes that we'll never know about. And for platforms, there's a responsibility to promote healthy conversations. That means cracking down on harassment, encouraging fact-checking, and creating spaces where creators and fans can interact in positive ways. At the end of the day, the internet is what we make it. We can choose to be part of the problem, or we can choose to be part of the solution. The next time a rumor about Fanum or anyone else starts to spread, take a moment to pause. Ask yourself if it's worth your time, your energy, and your attention. More often than not, the answer is no. So, did Fanum really get kicked out of AMP? The truth is, it doesn't matter as much as we think it does. What matters is how we respond, how we treat each other, and how we use our voices online. Rumors will come and go, but respect, empathy, and critical thinking will always be in style. Like, comment, and subscribe for more real talk. And remember, don't believe everything you see online. Thanks for watching. Stay smart, stay skeptical, and I'll see you in the next one.